There are moments in life when the heart feels tired, when it seems as if every step forward is weighed down by memories of what has been lost, what has been broken, or what never came to pass. In these moments, it can feel as though the light has dimmed and the days blend together in a quiet ache. But right now, this moment here is a gentle reminder that it is okay to pause. It is okay to stop trying to push through and instead allow yourself to simply be. This is a safe place, a space where nothing is demanded of you, where the only thing asked is that you open your heart just enough to let a little hope in. Healing doesn't require you to have it all figured out. It begins with the smallest willingness to allow something better to come into your life. If there has been sadness lingering inside, it is not a sign of weakness. If your energy has felt heavy, it does not mean you have failed. It simply means you've been carrying more than any one soul is meant to carry alone. The heart and mind are deeply connected, and when the mind is filled with worry, the body feels it too. Tight shoulders, a heavy chest, restless nights. These are not flaws, but gentle whispers from within, asking you to listen, to tend to yourself, and to make space for renewal. Right now, you are invited to step into a place of deep kindness toward yourself. You do not have to prove your worth to begin again. You only have to take one breath at a time and allow that breath to be a doorway to relief. It's easy to forget that the past, as real as it feels in memory, is no longer happening. Yet it still lives in the mind like a shadow, coloring how we see the present moment. So many carry yesterday's pain into today, almost like wearing a coat that no longer fits but feels too familiar to take off. There may have been disappointments that linger in your thoughts, mistakes that play on repeat, or moments of regret that still feel raw. But holding on to these moments is like planting weeds in a garden where flowers are meant to grow. The soil of your life cannot nourish both what hurts you and what heals you at the same time. Letting the past rest is not about erasing it. It is about understanding that it no longer has to be the author of your future. Every time you allow an old wound to dictate your choices, you give it the power to shape your life. And yet, when you gently release it, without judgment, without shame, you create room for something softer, kinder, and truer to enter. The act of release is a gift you give to yourself, a way of telling your spirit, I am worthy of peace. You might even place a hand over your heart right now. Take a deep, slow breath and feel how even that small gesture changes the way your body feels. Healing begins with permission. Permission to put the old story down. Permission to stop reliving what went wrong. Permission to say, I choose a new chapter. This permission doesn't have to come from anyone else. It is yours to give. The mind may resist it at first, insisting that you're not ready or that too much has happened. But readiness is not a requirement. Willingness is. When you whisper to yourself, it is safe for me to move forward, you plant a seed in the fertile soil of your own spirit. Over time, that seed will grow into a life that feels freer and lighter than the one you have known. Sometimes the barrier to starting over is the belief that you must be perfect before you can begin. You may think that all the pieces have to be in place, that you must feel strong and certain. But life is not waiting for perfection. It responds to movement. Healing is often messy and uneven, but it is real. There is beauty in beginning before you feel ready, in taking one small step even while your heart trembles. You can start with something as gentle as an affirmation spoken quietly each morning. I give myself permission to heal. Let it roll through your mind and settle into your heart. Say it until it feels like truth. When you allow yourself to grant that permission, you open the door to a different way of living. you begin to see that the power to change has always been inside you, not in the hands of circumstances or the actions of others. This understanding shifts the weight you carry. Instead of feeling at the mercy of life, you realize you are a co-creator with it. You have the right to say yes to the things that nourish your soul and no to the things that drain it. You have the right to walk away from old patterns and welcome new ones that align with the life you want to live. Even if the past has been filled with hardship, it does not mean the future must be the same. The body can learn to release tension, the mind can learn to focus on peace, and the heart can learn to trust again. You might picture your life as a clear, flowing river. Some parts of that river have been rough, filled with rocks and sharp turns, but the water keeps moving, and as it moves, it naturally leaves behind the turbulence of the past. In the same way, your life is always moving forward, even when you can't see it. By giving yourself permission to heal, you step into the current of that movement and allow it to carry you toward a gentler shore. This is not about ignoring pain or pretending it never existed. It's about deciding that pain will not have the final word. It's about choosing to be the one who decides what grows in the garden of your mind and what you will no longer water. And as you make this choice, you will feel a shift, not all at once, but little by little. Your thoughts will begin to change, and as they do, your emotions will follow. Your body will respond to the lighter, more loving energy you carry, and in time, the outer world will reflect the changes you've made inside. You are the only one who can give yourself this gift. The moment you say, "I am willing," the journey begins, not with a grand leap, but with a single step, a step toward peace, toward wholeness, toward the life you have quietly longed for. And with each breath, each loving thought, and each choice to release what no longer serves you, you take another step forward. This is the permission you have been waiting for. There is a quiet strength that comes from turning inward and choosing kindness over judgment. For so long, many have been taught to speak harshly to themselves, to measure their worth only by what they have done right or wrong. This constant criticism does not heal. It only builds walls around the heart. When the mind sends messages of failure or unworthiness, the body reacts, muscles tense, breath shortens, energy becomes heavy. It is as if every cell is listening, absorbing the tone of your thoughts. But when the inner voice changes, when it begins to speak gently, with understanding, something extraordinary happens. The body softens, the heart feels safe, and the mind begins to open to new possibilities. Choosing self-compassion is not about ignoring mistakes. It is about understanding that mistakes are part of the learning process. The seed does not blame itself for not blooming in winter. It knows its time will come. In the same way, you can learn to see your own journey as unfolding exactly as it needs to, without judgment. If you have been carrying guilt or shame, know that these emotions are heavy stones on your path. You do not have to keep walking with them. You can place them down, one by one, and feel the lightness that follows. An affirmation can help guide this shift. I speak to myself with kindness. I treat myself with the same love I wish to receive. Speak it slowly, letting the words sink into your being like sunlight into the soil. When you practice kindness toward yourself, you create an inner environment where healing feels safe. Old wounds do not close when they are poked and prodded with harshness. They close when they are bathed in patience and understanding. Each time you choose compassion, you signal to your mind and body that they are worthy of care. Over time, this becomes your natural way of being, and self-criticism loses its power. You are no longer at war with yourself. You become your own safe place. Letting go can be one of the most delicate acts of love you ever give yourself. It is not always easy because the mind clings to what is familiar, even when it causes pain. Sometimes the old story feels like a protective shield, but in truth, it is a weight that slows your steps. The fear of letting go often whispers questions. What if I can't find something better? What if I make the wrong choice? Yet life is not meant to be lived in the same chapter forever. There is a quiet bravery in releasing what no longer serves you, trusting that life will meet you with something new. Think of letting go as placing a bird back into the sky. You hold it gently in your hands, and then, when the moment feels right, you open your palms and watch it fly. The bird is free, and so are you. This act is not about loss. It is about allowing movement. The energy that was tied up in holding on is now available for growth, joy, and peace. You can create a small release ritual to help this process. Write down the thoughts, fears, or memories that keep you tied to the past. Fold the paper, and with a deep breath, place it somewhere you cannot see it again, or safely discard it. As you do, say softly, "I release this with love. I am ready for what comes next." It is natural to feel a mix of relief and sadness in these moments. Releasing the old does not mean it was meaningless. It means it has served its purpose. Trust that by letting go, you are making space for something more aligned with the person you are becoming. The garden cannot flourish if the soil is never cleared. By loosening your grip on the weeds, you make room for new seeds to grow. Reclaiming your inner power is the natural step that follows release. Once you have loosened the hold of the past, you begin to feel your own strength rising. This power is not about controlling others or forcing life to bend to your will. It is about realizing you are the one who chooses your thoughts, your focus, and your beliefs. Every day, in every moment, you have the choice to turn your attention toward what nourishes you. The mind is like a river. Where you direct it, the current flows. If you direct it toward thoughts of peace, gratitude, and possibility, you create an inner climate where hope thrives. This doesn't mean you will never have difficult thoughts, but it does mean you can choose not to live inside them. One gentle way to reclaim this choice is to begin the day with an affirmation of strength. Today, I choose thoughts that support my highest good. Say it when you wake up, while your mind is still soft and open. Let it guide the first steps you take into the day. Reclaiming your power is also about knowing that you do not have to accept every thought that passes through your mind. Thoughts are like clouds. They drift in and out. Some carry storms, others bring light. You have the right to choose which ones you keep. With time, you will find yourself naturally leaning toward thoughts that lift you rather than ones that weigh you down. This is not pretending that challenges do not exist. It is choosing to face them from a place of strength rather than fear. The moment you begin to live this way, you notice subtle shifts. The body feels lighter, the heart feels braver, and the path ahead seems less intimidating. You realize that life is not something happening to you. It is something you are shaping with every belief you hold, every choice you make. And from this place, starting over is no longer a desperate hope. It becomes a conscious creation. You stand in the center of your own life and say, "This is my time. I am ready to live in a way that honors who I am." Life is always offering us new beginnings, just as the earth offers fresh blooms each spring. The garden does not question whether the flowers should return. It simply makes space for them to grow. In the same way, when you plant new seeds of possibility in your mind, you are telling life, "I am ready for something beautiful to take root." These seeds are your intentions, gentle, loving visions for the way you wish to live. They don't need to be grand or complicated. Even the smallest seed can grow into something magnificent with steady care. Each intention you set is like a quiet promise to yourself. Perhaps it is the promise to speak to yourself more kindly, to take time each day to breathe deeply, to listen to what your heart truly needs. When these intentions are nurtured daily, they begin to reshape your reality. Just as a plant grows toward the light, your life will grow toward the energy you give it. You might keep a small notebook where you write one loving intention each morning. Over time, the pages will become a collection of seeds you've planted, evidence of your willingness to create a life of joy and peace. It's important to remember that seeds grow in their own time. You do not need to pull them up to check their roots. Your only role is to tend to them with consistency and love, water them with gratitude, feed them with positive thoughts, and allow them the space to grow. By honoring this process, you send a clear message to your mind and body that you trust in the goodness of life and your own ability to receive it. Your body is a wise and faithful companion on your journey. Every cell listens to the thoughts you think and the feelings you hold. When you speak lovingly to yourself, your body responds in kind. It softens, relaxes, and begins to repair itself. Many carry unspoken pain in their bodies, a knot in the stomach from worry, tightness in the chest from sadness, tension in the shoulders from feeling overburdened. By gently tending to the body, you release not only physical discomfort, but also the emotional weight stored within. One beautiful practice is to place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, and take a slow, steady breath. Feel the warmth of your own touch and imagine it spreading through your whole being. This simple act tells your body, you are safe now. Mirror work is another powerful way to connect with your body's wisdom. Stand before a mirror, look into your own eyes, and speak words of love and acceptance. At first, it may feel unfamiliar, but over time, you will see how your reflection begins to soften, how your eyes begin to shine with recognition. Your body responds to love. It thrives when it feels seen and cherished. When your inner world is filled with kindness, your outer world reflects it. Creating a supportive inner environment is about filling your mental space with thoughts that uplift and encourage you. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties. It means meeting them with a mindset that says, I can handle this with grace. You can begin by noticing the tone of your inner voice. Is it gentle? Is it forgiving? If not, you have the power to shift it. Instead of saying, I'll never get this right, you might say, I'm learning and I'm doing my best. This change in language shifts your energy from defeat to possibility. Journaling can help anchor these changes. Write about what you are grateful for, what you've learned from your experiences, and what you're ready to welcome into your life. These reflections strengthen your new way of thinking and create a clear path for your mind to follow. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to live with a loving inner voice. And so we come to the heart of it all, knowing deep within that healing and starting over is your birthright. It is not something you must earn. It is something you are allowed simply because you are here, breathing, living, and deserving of peace. Every choice you make to release the past, to speak kindly to yourself, to plant new seeds, to care for your body, and to create a supportive inner world is a choice to honor the life you've been given. There is no rush, no race to finish. Healing is not about speed, it is about depth. Every small step matters. Every loving thought counts. With each moment you choose love over fear, compassion over criticism, and trust over doubt. You are rewriting the story of your life. You are creating a future that reflects your inner light, no matter how dark the past may have seemed. And so, let these words be the gentle permission you have been waiting for. You are free to begin again. You are free to release what has been and to embrace what is coming. You are free to walk forward, one step at a time, toward a life that feels like home. As you move forward, you may hold this affirmation close to your heart. I am willing to heal. I am open to joy. I trust the process of life. Speak it softly, speak it often, and let it guide you into the new chapter that is waiting for you now.